I always say that's one of my favorite things. Like, so funny how long you need to kind of get comfortable on stage as you move through this or whatever. But I'm saying like when you get on now, not comfortable is the wrong word, but take a second to like kind of warm into it and stuff. What you're doing, like I didn't know like any of that, so I would go up there and just like I said, a new 5 minutes every week. I thought for sure, and I was like holding myself to it, and then adding more and more. Like I was just learning. I was like, oh, like they seem to like it if I really yell that punchline. And the only thing I didn't do was pick up the vernacular. I always just kind of talked the way I talked. But, I mean, how much I was mimicking, which is what I did a lot when I was a young comic, too. When I would see somebody I liked, I would kind of almost like, not even on, I guess probably on purpose, but not like,
pick up their cadence.
Mimicking their
like
the cadence, but even like the, you know, like the mic hold or the whatever the fucking thing is.
Right.
So it's like this tape, what I love about my set on it, that I have is a sleeveless shirt.
Oh my God.
Malone Sport, which is a big and tall brand.
That's the incarnation of Jay Oakerson at this time when you first got there. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you categorize that as?
Like style?
This wasn't the hip hop Jay Oakerson.
No, this is hip hop.
This is hip hop Jay Oakerson.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's the benefit I had over Kurt. Kurt was a leaps and bounds world's better writer of jokes.
Just dressed normal
than anybody was. But he
you type this in, just a Karl Malone jersey comes up, by the way. Malone Sport, big and tall.
But and Kurt would go up there and like have these great jokes, and like it just didn't matter because like he would get up there right away and then he'd go, "Look at this khaki pants wearing goofy motherfucker." And then Kurt would just be like, "So hey guys,
I was walking down the street the other day.
Yeah, the scouts are firing guys for being gay." And he would just go into his joke, and he had such good jokes, but they just wouldn't do. And this one set I have of Kurt that's great is he's going, and it's actually not a bad set. The joke's doing well, but you just see his thing. He's just frozen in place, telling his jokes. And we've been at this club 4,000 times at this point, and he asks after every punchline that goes good, he's hoping to God that's his out. So he asks if the light is for him after every set. Any light.
Talk about looking for
There was the red light, direct center.
Yeah,
you knew what the light was, but he would go, he goes, "Hey, why do cab drivers always smell like they're wearing the same cologne? Calvin Klein's Hoagie." And then they would laugh, and then he'd go, "Is that for me?"
That me? Guys, can we wrap this up?
Here?
Somebody lighting a cigarette in the back.
Oh, keep going. Okay, I'll keep going. And then he would just like start his next joke, and then after that joke, is that another one? Okay, I'll do another one. Me, I am Chris Rock, Bring the Pain, walking the stage, pacing, and this motherfucker right here, and this guy right here, and oh man, this guy right here goes, you know you're gonna fuck that bitch later. You know you about to fuck that bitch later. If a bitch is gonna fuck you, she lets you know by doing. And I'm just doing like all.
Did you ever use the stool as a telephone?
No, never telephone.
That's a good move. That is a good
What?
Never telephone.
That's a home run right there.
But I fucked it so much.
Yeah.
I fucked it. I did a lot of sassy head movement. It was so many misdirections. It's all you have is like the most basic level of comedy.
And what year is this?
99.
99.
That's when I started, yeah. So, and then my first show, my first show away from the Laugh House, Touré says to me,
"Now, were you doing any rooms of white people at the time?"
Or
or
I didn't even know what the.
That didn't.
You're just doing the Laugh House.
Also, I was like, where else?
Like you're
do you
not
go?
picking up like, oh, this is so and so.
After like a year or so.
Were there bar shows in Philly back then?
So I wasn't in that circle. I didn't know the Scarpati. I didn't know him.
You didn't
or
know
any of
that
I didn't know the Comedy Works.
Yeah.
Scarpati.
Andy Scarpati.
He owns, there used to be 8 Comedy Works.
And Paul something, as another guy was.
No, they're not Comedy Works. Comedy Cabarets.
Yeah, Comedy Cabaret.
Oh, we wanted to ask you about that.
Did you ever do the Northeast Room
so
on the Boulevard?
That's what was funny was, then we started figuring out, oh, there is some play. Doc Watson's had like a mainstream open mic that I would go do. Now, what was funny was, we do that first year, we're just doing black shows.
And who's the crew?
Me, Kurt, and Kev.
And did you guys meet there?
Yeah. I started. 3 weeks later, 3 weeks later, Kevin started. And then me and him became kind of immediate friends. And then Kurt started like 3 weeks after that, all like a few weeks after each other.
Wild. This is 1999.
1999.
Jeez.
And yeah, it was so weird. And then Kurt, what's funny was Kurt had these jokes. So when Kurt got to we're doing a year of this black club where Kurt's struggling, and I'm learning how to do pretty well. His jokes are great.
It's like swinging with two bats.
This isn't taking away from Kurt. The jokes are so brilliant.
Yeah, of course.
Especially for his age, and he's learning how to perform a little bit more and stuff. I always say the most saving grace for Kurt, I remember this vividly. I mean, the week before I met Keith, and I don't think it's exaggerating by much. Before I met Keith Robinson, it was like kind of the catalyst to get me, Keith, Kurt, and Kevin all up to New York.
Right.
He was the kind of guy who pulled us out there. A week before that, Kurt got to the Laugh House one night and was telling me, he goes, I'm going to try this new thing tonight. And he goes, and I swear the wording was, you know when you're taking a doo-doo in the bathroom and you hope nobody notices your shoes because they know they're going to notice, and it's just like, and I was like, doo-doo? I go, oh no, Kurt, you're starting to waver on what you're. I'm like, I'm already doing what you're doing.
I'm a lost soul.
I'm already doing this. Like, don't do what I'm doing, because I'm going up there. I'm already like, DJ, put that song on again. I would slap my mama to this fucking song. And I'm doing.
You're doing that?
Yes.
Oh Jesus!
I was trying to steal.
You got a pant leg rolled up?
Yeah. On my jeans too.
Yeah.
It was. I went for it. One time I wore a Warwick Dunn jersey and some wide receiver gloves on stage. It was so
much. Wide receiver gloves?
Gear's hot, dude.
Gear's hot, dude.
Gear is dope. You guys,
you just go.
I love that you just keep progressing. You got like a mouth guard and a helmet on. Blue 42.
Because that was a hell of a set. Take the snaps off.
Woo! You're full. He still wears gloves.
You got the Gatorade bottle. Hold on a second. Okay, now we're getting into it.
Sure.
So you went to a sporting goods store and said, give me a pair of wide receiver gloves.
Yeah.
And you wore them?
Modell's.
Yeah. Modell's.
Got to go to Mo's.
Well, Modell's, before women knew things about sports at all, you can go to Modell's and go get a $350 real Eagles jersey, the highest level stuff, switch tags, and bring it to a girl. They don't know. They're like, wow, these Jordans are only $5. And you're like, crazy, right? This store's the best.
That's next level dirtbag.
Yeah. A little label switching. When we used to go, my friend figured out, they worked at a drugstore, and they had a shrink wrapper, and they had a machine that could open up Sega Genesis games, the actual cartridge, and take out the chip itself.
Wait, what?
So you cartridge.
So like a Genesis cartridge, right?
Sure.
There's these screws, a special thing you can do,
in the back,
and you could take it out.
So it comes in half.
And it comes in half, and you can just take out like
the chip.
The game is a chip, yeah. No plastic around it, and then put the plastic back, put it back in the case, shrink wrap it at work, and then bring it back to Toys R Us and just get money back or whatever.
That's not bad.
Yeah, crazy
scam.
It's a good
scam. How would you play the game though?
It could just
put
plug
it in another.
But it didn't have it didn't say whatever Sonic.
Didn't say
it
just looked like a bunch of it looked like a micro, like an SD card almost, but like this big, and you have to like push it in the top, put it in the top and just play NBA jams. What I was dressing like was just everything I saw. This was coming off of. It's a very interesting time in comedy that I came in.
Very.
Because it was coming right off of, but still very popular, was Def Jam style comedy.
Of course.
Black comedy was the boom at that point. Comic View was doing
huge.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Def Jam was making stars out of these guys. I mean, Chris Tucker, all those people came out of Def. So that was a thing. So
everybody murdering.
I knew enough to be self-deprecating. That's all I really had to keep him on my side. But it's still like, and if you're gonna be eating a bitch's pussy, you got to be eating it all like blah, 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 blah. You have to, it's like a braggadocious. It's what the rap was at the time. Everything's like, I got money, I get pussy, I'm rich, I blah blah blah.